2022 is over, guys. To the joy of many, I have to say. Because what lays ahead could be one of the craziest years yet in terms of racing game releases. Be assured that you will know everything about the 5 best racing games that 2023 will provide for you. And with that, welcome back to Overtake. Are you all excited for the new year? Having a lot of New Year's resolutions to change your whole life? Well, I believe in you. But sometimes it's just cool to stay with what has been working in the past. For our number 5, Recreation will be the newest entry into the world of crazy and exciting racing games. With its older brother, Wreckfest, the foundation for the fanbase has been set, and now it seems to only be heading into an even bigger stage. From what we know so far, Recreation will be mostly the over-the-top version of Wreckfest, which says a lot in my opinion. On tracks that would make every acrophobic faint, players will seemingly have the time of their lives while trying to completely demolish their car. Physics and graphics look solid, but since we only have trailer footage, it's hard to exactly grasp the full scope of the changes here. But it will surely give René some grounds to get wrecked again.
The skyline out. Random call sign, of course, you tried that. Whoa! Oof! I think this is done quite soon.
If you don't want to get wrecked on your racing game knowledge, then liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell could very well be your saving grace. But back to Recreation. While the game will stay in the Nordic family and will be published by THQ Nordic, it will feature a different developer. 3 Fields Entertainment will get the nod over Bugbear this time. With a relatively unknown portfolio, it will be interesting to see what they can do. Admittedly, both Bugbear and 3 Fields operate under the same company in Nordic, and thus it's not expected to have no ties to the previous Rec games. Nevertheless, Recreation is looking to capitalize on some major growth in community. If they succeed in upping the ante and creating the next steps towards controlled destruction derby games, they could create something very, very special. Just like our next entry into this list. Trackmania is our 4th entry into this list. And I know what you will say, but Marvin, isn't that out already? And you're right, as always. But Ubisoft Nadeo have announced a pretty big next step. In 2023, Trackmania will release for console and on selected cloud platforms, bringing gamers all around the world the chance to enjoy Trackmania in different environments than before. What's so cool about this is that Trackmania features one of the most dedicated communities to date, with many players sinking in thousands of hours to expand the scene. It couldn't happen to a better bunch of people to see everything develop the way it has right now. And what a step the next one could be. Historically, console adaptations bring problems with them. Take ACC for example. Ever since the console release, the patch cycle is about 6 months back, and the transition to controller could have been way smoother. All of this won't be an issue for Trackmania, as most of the community plays with a gamepad anyways. Well, most of the sane ones to be exact. And patch-wise, it is believed to feature crossplay, which means same versions everywhere. This does not mean there won't be any issues whatsoever, and Trackmania will just end up cleaning house. But be assured, it could be possible. At current times, Trackmania is supposed to release on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, Stadia, and Amazon Luna. Did you know they have a cloud game service? Well, whatever. What you should know about, however, is our number 3. Back in early 2022, we made a video about our 3rd entry, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The legendary racing game series is believed to feature its newest offshoot this year. Ever since we covered this topic, not a whole lot has changed, to be honest. Originally aimed to release in 2022, this obviously shifted a whole year back. But hopes are still high that this game could absolutely deliver. Everyone with a history in racing games will at least have heard of the games surrounding luxury and pompous cars. Feeling like a billionaire while on a half-broken Xbox controller has always been a nice niche for racing game developers. What we know already looks very promising as well. TDU will most likely feature a very realistic rebuild of Hong Kong. We know as much from the more or less extensive trailer analysis done already. Gambling and bling bling will also be a part of it, adding some additional layers of possible innovation. In terms of graphics and gameplay, not a whole lot is known already, which may be worrisome if the game's timeline is supposed to stay intact. But should it stay as it is, we will be in for something very cool for sure. The prospect of having a fresh title on the arcade racing market is awesome itself, especially now that Need for Speed blasted through the scene with Unbound. A bit of competition surely is a push in the right direction to revive the space. For now, no concrete date is set, but we from Overtake know a thing or two about the development of this game. We can, for example, safely say that TDU will run on the WRC engine, and there are a lot of hands on deck at the moment at Nacon. Especially with the recent departure of WRC from their portfolio, Test Drive Unlimited can be expected to have a lot of work put into it. Of course, there are still a lot of questions connected to this title, but if it's anything like we knew before, you can surely be looking forward to this in 2023. But we talked a lot about casual racing. Let's get a little bit of sim racing in this thing. 2023 may just be the year our number 2 has its breakout performance. When Ranchspot got announced, many people were head over heels in love with the idea of another IP in the sim racing universe. With a heavy emphasis on GT racing and some newly fetched ideas from the world of technology, Ranchspot was ready to present something that wasn't just going to go unnoticed with a sim racing audience. With a combination of solid PR and the right things said, that hype has only intensified over the time and electrified the fans. From a whole summit to the now existing project Pitwall, a lot has gone right up until now. But can we expect a banging entry into the market? I strongly believe so. Even though, yet again, no concrete date of release has been issued, 2023 does look like it will at least feature the first bits of Ranchspot Racing for the general public. Of course, only then will we be able to judge if the hype has produced a real contender to the iRacings and ACCs of the world. But just as the same with Test Drive, the sheer idea of a game existing and shaking up the realm of stale sim racing is exciting as ever. If I would have to guess, we will probably have to wait until the latter half of the year to fully enjoy the content. So let's all pray that it'll be worth it. Our number 1 is a game we know of since the release of the Xbox X and S. Over 2 years and close to no final call when Forza Motorsport 8 is finally seeing the light of day. But all things point towards 2023 for it to be the year. Forza Motorsport 8 is something of a shimmer of hope for the simcade genre. After the rather rough state of GT7 at the start and the subsequent deterioration in interest by the player base, the market is still begging for a worthy game to fill the gap. FM8 could very well be that. As recently as half a year ago, we got some first looks at gameplay and another trailer. And while I have to quit being excited over reveals like this, the trailer does show me some positive signs all around. I mean, 48 times the detail. Where have I heard this before?
16 times the detail.
Of course, graphical detail is beyond belief. We come to almost expect that of the current engines. But what I also really appreciate is that some little things like damage and AI modeling have been tackled. Hopefully their AI model will be ready to go from the start and not implemented months later like Sophie in GT7. Forza Motorsport 8 is in a unique position, as it will be the Xbox player's simcade title of choice, but will also feature a PC community unlike that of GT7. As we discussed earlier, more platforms usually mean more work. But if everything is semi-ready and working at launch, Forza Motorsport 8 could hit the ground running and really set some fire under Sony to pump effort into their title. Have we missed any of the games you are most looking forward to? Go write it in the comments below or hit us up on social to really be a part of the discussion around 2023. If you, for example, want to know more about Ranchspot, then maybe taking a look at our latest Nitro Nights right here would be a good idea. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheerio.